And Congressman Gregory Meeks is on the line with us. He represents the 5th District of New York. And Congressman Meeks, welcome to the program.
Good to be with you.
Great to have you with us. I was astonished, but not this morning, to watch our corporate news media or mainstream media, whatever you want to call this freak show that we've got going on, for 2 hours, breathlessly, watching Donald Trump's plane on the tarmac and speculating about what he might say, and then giving him a half hour, which has got to be hundreds of millions of dollars worth of airtime, to have all kinds of military folks come out and say how wonderful he is. And then he utters basically a tweet, 2 sentences, which are false about his birtherism, or at least, his blaming it on Hillary Clinton and saying he solved the problem. What do you make of this?
Donald Trump is a con man. What a con man does is flip-flop things and make you, and con you into listening to what he says and does. And that's what he did to the media today. He conned them into basically tuning in to a presentation about his opening of a hotel. That's what it was. He would have never gotten that kind of coverage other than the way that he did it, conning people to come in to look at, and that's to look in. And that's what he does time and time again. He makes this like it's a game to him. Running for president of the United States. I love this country. This is the greatest country on this planet. We've got a lot of problems that we still got to do, we've got to fix, but it's the greatest country on this planet. And Donald Trump is playing games with people and playing games with this country. It is unacceptable, and, it is sad. And I think that if every American should be sad, he utilized as basically props for his property, individuals who put their lives on the line for this country. So for him to do that, and then to say basically 2 lines, he said much more about his hotel than he said about this issue, of which he had been talking about for the past 9 years. It is, shameful, and I would say it is a deplorable act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a good word. Good word. So how in this era of reality TV infotainment having supplanted actual news coverage, and journalists as TV stars, as opposed to the old Walter Cronkite days of journalists as journalists, it seems to me like the only real journalist left is Amy Goodman. How, as a person who navigates the political waters, you're the Democratic congressman from the 5th District of New York. How do you deal with this, and how do you think that we should all be dealing with it? How can we get some honesty out of our media?
But you know what? The discourse there is really troubling. It's really, really troubling, because it is what you said. It's now infotainment as opposed to information. It's more about getting ratings than it is about getting facts and holding people accountable. Walter Cronkite, I was a little guy, but I can remember when Tim Russert was there, he would ask the hard question and not let anybody off the hook or just say certain things just because you want him to try to come back on your media. I mean, it is, I would hope, and I keep saying this, because I do have confidence in the American people, that they may be entertained now, but when they get to the polls, they're going to be serious about what's in the best interest of this country. And you cannot allow someone who has repeatedly lied. I mean, I can show you out and out lie after lie after lie that he said that is tremendous serious. I mean, starting not only this birther scenario, but when he said that he saw thousands of Muslims cheering when the World Trade Center comes down. There's no evidence. It's an out-and-out lie where he was appealing to the worst, where he lied and said initially he didn't know who David Duke was. An out-and-out lie. And there is videotape of him, saying these things. And it is just clear and precise, and we should not allow him to get away with it, and then come back and tell another lie. It should be at a point where, as I think that as long as he's lying, he should not get the coverage that he's getting.
Yeah.
Make them tell the truth.
I'm with you. I'd love to see it happen. On another note, one of my big concerns is that even the Clinton campaign's ads right now are mostly, beating up Donald Trump, and I'm concerned that they may actually be helping Trump with a certain sector of the electorate, because they go, yeah, he's a tough talking guy. He tells it like it is, whatever. It seems to me that we need to be making a positive and affirmative case for Hillary Clinton presidency. Can you in the 2 minutes or so we've got until we hit the end of the hour, can you do that?
You know what? I definitely believe, and I advocate this in the campaign, that Hillary should just talk about herself, what she wants and how she wants to lead this nation and her programs, and leave some of this other stuff to people like me. I know we can't leave the negative stuff out there and someone has to respond, but I do not believe it should be her. She has so many ideas. She's a policy wonk. She's got thoughts. I worked with her when she was in the Senate of New York. I've seen her work hard and how she made a difference and brought the state of New York together, upstate and downstate, rural and urban. Her slogan, we're stronger together. I think that is tremendously important, and leave it to others like myself and others to stand up anytime we hear this kind of nonsense coming from Donald Trump. But I also think, some of the frustration is that the media, not you guys, but some of the mainstream media is not taking the hard stance that they should be taking on Donald Trump. And so she feels, or the campaign feels, since they're not going to do it, they have to step in and fill the gap.
Right. I think one of the big appeals that Donald Trump has for many working people in the United States, and particularly the largely white, although not entirely, folks across the Rust Belt, is that he's promising to bring back manufacturing jobs. In the minute we have left, what is the Democratic plan and the Clinton plan to bring back manufacturing jobs, to revitalize manufacturing in the United States?
Well, listen, let me tell you something. If we look at the state of Ohio, for an example, their unemployment rate now is lower than it has been in the last 25 years. Governor Kasich has talked about how manufacturing has begun to return to the state of Ohio. What we've got to figure out, and that's why she talks about infrastructure building. She talks about, not only, in training, because what we need when we bring, or as we bring these manufacturing jobs back, what we've got to remember is we are now in the 21st century. So it's not going to be an assembly line manufacturing the way we did 50 years ago. You have to understand to deal with the technology of manufacturing. And so therefore, that's where the education and the training is tremendously important, because individuals just with the physical aspects of doing things as we did, 50, 60 years ago, that no longer exists. And so that's why the stress that she's been stressing is education, whether it be academics or vocational.
Yeah. Got it. I got it. Congressman, we're out of time. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for being with us, Congressman Gregory Meeks.